Alright guys, now it's time for the fun part of anodizing. And I have these polished scales. They're sitting in distilled water right now just to stop the natural anodization process from happening, just from the air contacting them. And you can technically go right ahead and anodize these straight from polishing. But I had a lot of time in between, and I'm not going to do a full, like, leave them in the etchant for a long time. I'm just going to briefly put them in there just to get anything that could have built up on it off. Give it 5 seconds, maybe a few seconds longer. Alright, go back into the distilled water to rinse that stuff off. Alright, now we're going to anodize. Now I am going for a 2-color on my anodization. I want to do a green on the low areas and then a bronze or gold on the flats of the frag. So to get to that, I'm going to have to do the high voltage first, anodize it green, take them out, sand off the flats, sand the green off, and then re-anodize them at a lower voltage to get the gold. Now to get to the green I want to get, I'm going to start at 90 volts, may go up to 100 volts, and the gold I want is going to be right around 55 volts, should be somewhere in that range. So let's get started. Alright, I'm going to pull out green, and this is distilled water with baking soda in it. Makes the electrolyte that you're going to need, and you're going to want to connect your negative to that, and your positive is going to connect to your scales, or the wire your scales are on. So let's get up to, we're going to start at 90 volt. So this is the coarse adjustment, just really fast, this top button. And this is the power supply's link below. It's really, really good. It works great. Knife Modders recommended it, and that's why I bought it. So I'm going to do the fine adjustment, get it right at 90. So I got it right at 90 volts. All right, so we're going to take these out. We're going to connect our positive here, and we're going to dip these in the water, and we want to wait for that amperage to level out. Since we got a couple large pieces here, it's going to take a little while. You can probably see the colors changing already. It's going through a lot of different colors, and you'll see bubbles start to, now we got the purple. We're getting closer. Amperage is getting really low. Now I don't know what kind of grade this titanium is, how good it is. So that will sometimes affect the quality of your anodization also. The better quality titanium you have, the better results you're going to get. It looks like we are about to level out here. Now let's see what we got. It looks like we are more to like a teal color right now. If you guys can see that. That actually does look pretty good though. A bluish tealish color. Let's go up a couple more volts. Let's go up to 93. Actually, let's just go 92 for now. Close enough. We'll do 92 and see what we get. This scale's not hanging quite as low. There we go. Alright. Alright, I already see them turning a little more green now. Yeah, that's the green I'm looking for right there. Let that level out, the amperage level out. Doesn't go to 0, it will just settle down and stop going down, bounce back and forth, up and down a little bit. Alright. Yeah, that's more. Tell you what I am going to do also. I'm going to go ahead and drop them in individually. Alright. I think I may go up to 95. Get a little less of that bluish, tealish in there. And then, here, let me switch to the individual wire here. And, although this is looking pretty good, pretty green. I'm gonna go up a couple more volts. I'm gonna go up to 95. Close enough. And you'll watch, since it's already anodized most of the way, it won't take nearly as long. We've already gone pretty close to the voltage we want to go to. Alright, I think that is good. That is good. Let's go ahead and do this guy here. Another, tip, put your wire through this way. That way the wire, the other end isn't touching the show. If it's going to scratch or touch anything, it's going to touch the inside of the skill. Something I learned the hard way. Scratched something, had to repolish it up before I could even finish the anodization. So, alright, looks like we've leveled out there. We're bouncing up and down. We're not dropping or anything anymore. So we're good. Alright, cut the power supply off. Set this out of the way for right now. And this is going to be like a down and dirty quick. You could use your Dremel to do what I'm about to do, or you can also use, I've got a piece of 800 grit and a piece of 1000 grit. Like I said, I'm not going for a really high polish here, but I do want some more water, so I don't have to get up and go get it. So I'm going to sand off these flats and remove the color. It's so hard on a small scale. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'm just holding the scale down, rubbing it back and forth. This is the 800. Do them both on the 800, then I'll do them both on the 1000. Very easy to do. All right, we almost got it all off. Still got a little bit over here. Now, something you'll notice about cheaper knives, cheaper scales is, they may not be perfectly flat. More higher end the knife, and normally the better the materials are going to be you're working with. But this seems to be good grade titanium because it's getting the color range it should get for the voltage it's getting. All right, that's pretty close, but I'm going to go ahead and, this area right here seems to be a little bit lower. I'm going to do it by hand just to get that last little bit off. All right, do this scale. Actually, let me go ahead and finish this scale and drop it into distilled water. Do it on the 1000 grit, and you can go all the way up to 1500 grit, 2000 grit, 3000 grit, and you get a killer polish that way also. It'll also, if you sand like this before you polish with the Dremel, it'll make the polishing process much quicker. All right, yeah, that's good on that one. So I'm gonna hang this one in the distilled water just to keep it clean, away from anodizing. And I'm gonna do this one. Now this one has the lock bar, so you have to do a little bit more of this by picking the scale up and doing it, instead of doing what I'm doing right now, because that's not gonna get hit. You can push that down, but it's kind of hard to do, so just pick the sandpaper up and sand off the green. All right, let's bring it over to the 1000. And close that Whinks. Do not want that open any longer than it needs to be open. That stuff is nasty stuff, but it works really well. All right, looks like we've got all the green off the flats, except on the lock bar. So we can get it off there by doing it like this. The cool thing about frag pattern, or any patterns like this where you've got, milled out areas, you're going to be able to get multiple colors like this much easier. All right, I'm gonna take that one out and anodize it first. Drop this one in the distilled water for now. All right, now we are going to go up down to 55 volts. So let's turn it back on. Drop this down to 55 volts. Close enough. And hook our scale on. And now it won't anodize the green areas because it's already been anodized at a higher voltage. It'll only anodize the areas that have no anodization on them. I should have turned that to where you could see it, but I may have to go up to 60 to get to what I want to get to. We'll see here in a second. Let it level out, the amperage level out. Looks like it's leveling out. Get this out of the way now that I don't need it. See what we got here. Yeah, we got a gold. See that? Got a gold and a green. Actually, I'm happy with that. I don't need to go any higher. I'm good with that right there. Let's do the other one. Hook it through this way so the edge of the outside of the wire is on the inside of the scale. This time you'll be able to see it. I got it aligned right so you can see it change colors hopefully. And you'll see this will level out real quick because we're not making much of a change. Yeah, I think we're done. Yeah, we are done. All right, so that is it. Power supply is off now. Something cool about the titanium wire, you can always tell what color you've done last. This will be the highest color you've done. So this is up to the purple I did on that Tucson. But there we go, guys. Let me dry these off real quick, and I will let you take a look at them. And then I will do a quick video after I have the knife put back together. And add it into the end of this. There we go. I went a green and bronze. We got green and bronze there. Yeah, that turned out great. Turned out really, really good actually. And I didn't want a super high polish on this because I didn't want it to be a fingerprint magnet, so I didn't polish it. And you can polish it as high as you want. It's all up to you. You take it to where you want it to be. And yeah, we'll call these the pineapple scales. Instead of a frag, it looks like a pineapple with the green and the yellow, right? All right, guys, I will see you in a few minutes once the knife is reassembled and show you what it looks like all put back together. All right, everybody, I am back. The knife is back together, and I took a little detour along the way and decided to take it a step further, which I did off camera, but it's the same process as polishing the scales. I decided, I've got the glove on for now, I'll take that off momentarily. Just before I get my paws all over it, I also went ahead and polished the blade on this. Not quite a mirror polish, but pretty damn close to a mirror polish on the blade. So she is a fingerprint magnet. This is a knife that costs $19.50. Okay, you can buy these on Amazon. Titanium scales, and it is high grade titanium. I can tell by the way it anodized. It is definitely high grade titanium. Hardware isn't all that great. Bit of a pain in the butt to break the pivot free initially, but once you break it free, it's fine after that. These are, I don't know what these standoffs are in the back here. If they're brass or what they are, they wouldn't etch, and they wouldn't, I didn't even try to anodize them, but they matched the gold on the flats of the frag, so it worked out good. And then the green is everywhere else on the outside edges. All right, now I got my, now that you've seen it without my fingerprints all over it, I'll take that glove off. So you got the green and all the lows, and I could have done a little better sanding on the lock bar, but again, this was just a quick how-to, and you know, more effort you put into it, the better result you're going to get. So there she is, and I want to show you guys a couple more that I've done recently. This is the first knife I anodized, which I'm going to redo this one. This is the Vist variant PE, and I did a pretty high polish on this, but I only used sandpaper. I didn't use a Dremel. I went from 400 grit all the way up to 3000 grit sanding this, and this thing is like glass. And this is my first attempt, but I'm gonna redo this, and I don't want it quite this glossy, and I'm gonna re-anodize this soon. Unfortunately, the pocket clip is steel, so I heat anodized it, try to get some color in it. I may do that again, try to get a little better color in it. That's my first job anodizing. My second anodizing job was the Wiha, the new button lock. And on this one, I sanded down the flats. I didn't use a Dremel, and I only went up to 1500 grit. It's smooth, but not too smooth. And then it's anodized all one color, but because the edges were not sanded, and the lower area here where it's milled out was not sanded, and the pocket clip was not sanded, they give more of a flat look on those, and then on the flat, and then on where the scales are flat, you get more of a polished look. This one turned out really good. I really like the way it turned out. Great knife too, by the way. Fantastic detent for a button lock. And the other one I've done so far is the last one I did, which is my favorite by far. The Tucson TS195. Man, look at this one. Fades from blues to purples. This is an integral, so it's all one piece. Pocket clip turned out great. I polished all the hardware, inserts, screws. Unfortunately, the pivot and all the screws are not titanium, they're steel, so I just did a high polish on them. Didn't do anything on the blade on this one, but I gotta tell you, I'm tempted to polish the blade on this one. I don't know, it just turned out so good. But that's pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna be doing lots more anodizing. I really enjoy doing it. It's fun. It's a good time. Star of the show for this video, though, this series of videos, is this little Malisong. Here, get all those out. Here's the star of the show. Give you guys one more up close look. I think it turned out great. I like the color coordination, especially with the brass standoffs back there. Matches the gold on the flats. I think it turned out great. And polishing the blade, I think, gives it a really good look too. And the thumb studs, obviously. And yeah, got great action for such a little knife. Can reverse flick it if you get it just right. It's just so little. Great little fifth pocket knife. One of you guys, I don't remember who it was, you found a pocket clip that fit this. I wish, if you watch this video, please comment below and let me know what clip that was you found that fit this, because I'd like to put a clip on it, polish. If I did a clip on it, I think I'd do it the green color, and I think that'd look pretty sweet. But this is officially the pineapple knife. You know, it's not a frag. This is the pineapple pattern with the colors and everything. How can you not think of a pineapple, right? Looks like a pineapple to me. All right, guys, if you have any questions whatsoever, I'm very receptive to comments. I will answer any questions you have. Leave a comment below. And you can also check me out on Instagram, same name, Blades and EDC, and message me there if you have questions. Obviously, if you want to have more of a conversation, that may be the better place. But if you do it on YouTube, it's open source, so anyone can see. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button if you learned anything, appreciate anything in the video, and subscribe if you are new. Getting close to 500. At 500, there's a big giveaway coming up. There will be a total of 4 knives given away and 3 different winners. So it's going to be a good one. First place will get 2 knives. I'll see you guys on the next one.